This is a quick instructional video on how to install my collection for Vortex for Skyrim VR, specifically the Steam Skyrim VR edition. Now, a few things before you start. Obviously, you're going to need a web browser, ideally a Vortex Premium account, which you can get a free trial for 3 days if you sign up, which makes downloading a little bit easier. A copy of Skyrim VR for Steam and Vortex itself installed. Now, by the time I make this video, I'm going to assume that the team behind Vortex have fixed the bug, which prevents you doing a one-click installation, but we'll get to that later. But I'll also show you how to work around it. Now, first things first, for the cleanest possible installation, what you want is a fresh installation of Skyrim VR. This will give you the most stable base on which to apply the mod kit to. So we're just going to go to Steam and we're going to click install. Now, when it prompts you for which drive to install to, you want to have it on the same drive that you have Vortex installed on. There's a whole bunch of reasons why, but I won't go into all of them. Just keep it simple. If Vortex is installed on your D drive, for instance, you want to have Skyrim installed there. If Vortex, in this instance, is installed on your C drive, because this computer only has one, I'm just going to click C drive. So I'll click install. And this should progress pretty quickly. Okay, great. Now that it's installed, there's one quick step that we need to do more in Steam, just so it generates the necessary configuration files which you'll need before installing a mod kit. So to do that, it's pretty simple. You just click play in Steam. It's going to prompt you saying you need a headset. You're just going to hit OK, stop. And we're done. If it launches Steam VR, which I've got here, we're just going to quit out of that too. The good thing about this collection is it can coexist with Steam VR, but it's actually built not for Steam VR. It uses Open Composite, which bypasses Steam VR to give you about a 30% performance boost, which is a really good thing, especially for Skyrim VR. When modded, it can be quite demanding. Now that that's done, we're going to go over to Vortex and we're going to add Skyrim VR as one of the games that we're going to manage. So we're just going to click on Games and just a quick search. Type in the word Skyrim, you're going to see Skyrim VR pop up. You're going to click the Manage button. Now, just ignore these. They're not relevant for now. Just leave them be. That's it. Now, by the time this video comes out, as I mentioned before, I'm going to assume that the team behind Vortex have fixed the bug, which prevents you from doing what I'm about to do. I'm running the beta version, so it doesn't have that bug. I fixed it, but in case you encounter it, I'll show you how to work around it. But look, in the meantime, normally you're going to go to the collection, you're going to click Add, and just continue. As you'll see, it says requires Vortex. Click. Down she comes. And there she is. So, here is the collection. You'll note that here it will prompt you to create a new profile. This is always a good idea. One thing that I also find handy is if this box is ticked install mods during collection downloads, just untick it. It's much cleaner if it downloads everything, then installs them, rather than tries to do it on the fly, because it can sometimes get a little bit confused. And to start the download, I'm just going to click, well, not the download, the installation. I'm just going to click install now, at which point it's going to prompt me to switch over to the new profile that we created. And I'm going to say, yeah, go do that. And now Vortex is going to get very busy. It's going to start downloading everything. Once that's all completed, you'll notice here that it's going to wait until this is all done, which is good, as in everything will be downloaded, and then it'll start installing. Now, in the event that you're installing this before they've fixed the bug I just mentioned, on clicking the Add Collection, what you will have gotten is a copy of the collection here, and it will not have installed. It might have thrown an error message saying that that this is not designed for Skyrim VR, even though it is. So there's an easy fix. All you're going to do is you double click, and with the game, you're just going to click Skyrim VR, and you're going to close that, and just simply click install, and it'll kick off the same way that it did previously. In the meantime, you can monitor what's happening via the collection tab, and you can just see everything that it's doing. In the event that you don't like to watch grass grow, I recommend that you go and find something else to do while this all happens. Ideally, this is a one-click install. Once you've kicked it off, you should be able to go away, come back in about half an hour, depending on how fast your internet connection is, and you should be done. While we continue to wait for this to download, one of the prerequisites for actually running the game and getting the most out of it is to have this tool called the Virtual Desktop Streaming App. Okay, this is a desktop tool which you will need on your headset to connect to it, and you'll also need it on the desktop itself to stream the game. This is where you get the most amount of bang for your buck for your headset. Get about 20% uplift. This is how it's configured. So the app itself, these are my configuration settings, but I won't go into that just yet. If you don't have that app, to get it, you're going to want to go to vrdesktop.net, and for your computer, unfortunately, there is only a Windows and Mac version. I think there may be a Linux solution, but look, at this point in time, I'm going to assume that you're running Windows. So you're just going to click that. It will download, follow the prompts, let it install. Once it's installed, you want to run it. And under the options, well, firstly, you want to put in your account. Now for me, it's a Meta account. So you have the ability to add various others, but for me, it's Meta. And this is my username. Done. This means that when your headset connects to your computer, it will be able to authenticate. Second most important bit is to click on the options. You'll see here, it seems more complicated than it is. I'll just break it down into plain English. By default, it might have, if you've got, say, for instance, you've got a Quest 3 headset, the default is this AV1 codec. There are a few others to choose from. I choose H.264 Plus purely because it is better suited for high-paced moments in Skyrim VR. It has minimal encoding and decoding, so the process by which the video goes from the computer to the headset, it has the minimal amount of that. It also lets you select a really high bit rate. So personally, I normally choose this, but it's going to come down to your networking environment and how fast your computer is. If you have a slightly slower Wi-Fi connection and a Quest 3, for instance, you may want to choose the AV1. But I like this one. There'll be a few checkboxes, but this is normally what I run with. There's one big one here that I normally turn off, which is automatically adjust bitrate, because sometimes it gets confused. And if you have a strong Wi-Fi signal, you shouldn't have to do this. So this is one of the ones that I normally toggle off straight away. Most important one, OpenXR runtime. Now this is where you get your speed that's linked to the collection. You want to ensure that it's set to this one, VDXR. I'm not going to go into why, just do it. Gamepad emulation, this is just how your hand controllers communicate with the PC. You've got a couple options. I normally just leave it at Xbox. The default setting is Xbox, I believe. Then you have another one called audio streaming. This is when you're playing the game, whether it just sends all the audio to your headset, which is what I normally use. But you do also have the option to choose headset and computer in the event that you want to run your earbuds or whatever directly from the PC. And it's finished. Now you'll see it's going to get pretty busy up there. It's deploying 62,401 files. Quite a lot. So depending on your drive, this could take a little bit of time. Okay, that's done. Now, if you've walked away or whatnot, you'll right at the end of the first phase, you'll be prompted whether you want to install 22 optional mods. I recommend you just click the install optional mods. They add a lot of flair and content, but it's up to you. So we're just going to click that button and it'll continue the process. Okay, it's now finished downloading and installing all the optional mods. There's not many. Should be pretty quick. Okay, now you're done. Collection is downloaded, deployed, and installed, and ready to go. But not just yet. A couple things you want to do first. So we'll just hit done once we get a nice light. First thing you want to do, I've bundled a couple tools with this application. There's two real big ones that you want. This is the ini config tool. So all the configurations for Skyrim VR used to be an absolute nightmare to manage. What I've done is bundled a tool that makes this really easy. The second one is Open Composite configuration, but we'll get to that next. Like that, it'll launch this tool. This tool's been used forever on regular Skyrim, but up until recently it wasn't available for Skyrim VR. It now is. So I'm going to choose, you'll get prompted for which version. I'm going to click Skyrim VR, select. It'll launch this, and it's going to ask for two things. One, where's the game? Okay, so you have to hit browse. On my PC, it's on C drive, Steam, Steam apps, Common, Skyrim VR. For yours, it might be a little bit different. To find out where, all you have to do is just open up Steam, go to the properties, go to install files, click browse, it'll take you to the directory. So going back to the configuration tool, browse, Skyrim VR, and you're just going to want to click skyrimvr.exe. The second one is the ini path. Now that first step where I had you run it manually, the reason being is that it will generate these. Now without these, it can't do the configuration. So to find these, you're going to click browse. Now these, well at least for me, and for most people by default, are going to sit in your documents, my games, Skyrim VR. And what you want to do there is just click skyrimvr.ini, click open, and click OK. Right, so now we have this really cool tool that lets us set all the ini files, or all the ini entries with very little input. I personally I run this game at 90 FPS. If you've got a decent PC, you should be able to achieve that. So I normally just set that. Second one is TAA, just off. Leave that off. Don't need it anymore. Now, third one, you're going to want to check your preset. Now, with me, I normally just go with the high. I'd advise you even though I've got pretty good hardware, I'd stay away from the ultra, mainly because it can try to do a little bit too much, and sometimes it can sort of trip over. I recommend you start with high, see how you go. If you're having a bad experience, you can just launch that tool again and go for a lower setting. So anyway, choose your language. For me, I'm just going to leave it as English. That's default. Once you've done that, just click this little button here, apply recommended tweaks, and you want the Bethany tweak. I'm not going to go into why, just click this, click apply, you're done. Click the VR tab. A couple of things you need. You want to also ensure that you have Vrick installed. And again, what's cool about the tool is you can right click on these and it gives you some good information. Higgs, make sure that's ticked. Plank, make sure that's ticked. Realistic bow aiming, I like this. I normally tick it. Disable auto aim. Yeah, I like to aim myself. This one's quite cool. He even included a picture as to what this actually does. Disable auto knock, so it just feels a bit more realistic. The arrow will be in your hand, and it's up to you to sort of put it where it needs to go before you shoot it. I highly recommend you tick that, and you're done. If you do use a gamepad, like an Xbox controller or something, if you're playing seated, you probably want to have this unticked. If you're using hand controllers like I do, have it ticked. After that, you're just going to hit save. It's going to tell you everything it's going to do. Yeah, sure, whatever. Yep, save. All right, we're done. What's cool about this tool is it also creates a backup. If for any reason you need to change your preferences, simply run the tool again from Vortex. Now you notice the second time I run it, it automatically just knows where everything is. So flipping to medium or low is really easy now that you've done this. You just launch a tool, select a different preset, and hit save, and you're done. And it'll create backups as it goes. Okay, that's out of the way. Last step. In the recent releases, there's an open composite configuration tool. Now, what this tool does, and this tool is actually brilliant. The guy who wrote it is a genius. Launch that. Okay. This lets you do something that used to be an absolute nightmare, and that is map all your controller configs. Normally when I enable it, because I use Vrick, I normally tick this box. There's a built-in keyboard with this tool. So when you're in the game, if you double click on the left button, or the left thumbstick, it'll launch a keyboard, and double click it again and it'll go away. Which is really cool if you ever need to enter any text, because if you're in VR, one of the worst possible things is you have to pop the headset off and go grab a keyboard. It sucks. Next step, bindings. Now you've got a bunch of different presets here that you can try. I normally go with the VR safe, but there's a whole bunch of different ones you can try. I recommend just try them out. Say I want a combo. This one's really cool. So I can do combos over here. So say there's a command that you need to do in game, and it needs to be mapped to a keyboard button. Say O, for example. All you do is you go in here, click O. So that's the file we want, the key we want. Click on the trigger and then choose the action. In this instance, we'll just say triple tap. So 3 taps and it'll send an O to the game. It's up to you. And okay. You can actually just do anything you want in here. Just make sure when you're done, you just click this little button here. And what this will do is just check that nothing you've done here is going to break anything in the game. Because if it does, it'll tell you. Good news. Yep, validated. No button problems. So if there are button problems, it'll actually cause the game to crash. So you don't want that. You want to make sure you click that button. Okay. Once that's done, you want to click this little save all bindings. It will save everything that you've just done. If you ever need to reset back to basics, all you have to do is just click master reset. Puts it all back to absolute vanilla defaults. One really cool thing that he's added in the last one, and it really gives it a lot of power, is this new video tab. So if I click video, I now have a whole bunch of options on how, which rendering pattern I'm going to use. If you want a few extra frames and you're running, say, an AMD card, you want to click, I'll use FSR 3, and I'm going to click quality and then click save. It'll save it. If you're using an NVIDIA card, which I have in my other one, you just want to untick that. Click NVIDIA. Now you have the options here to go with, if you have a really good card, you can go with DLAA. This gives you the absolute best quality image. If you are going to use DLAA, I highly recommend you also use this fixed foveated rendering. What this does is, even though I've gone for the absolute maximum here, if I click this little button here, and if you've got pancake lenses, like on a Quest 3, go with the conservative setting. What this does is it focuses the amount of image it renders to where you're actually looking, not to the sides. And this will give you a massive boost. I don't recommend you use this unless you're on the DLAA. So that's my absolute dream kind of arrangement. But on this particular PC, it's a bit lower spec. I'm just going to use FSR 3, quality, save. I'm done. That's it. Game's installed and configured and ready to run. To play for the first time, what you want to do is pop your headset on, connect to the PC, and you'll see what we're seeing here, and you just click play, and that's it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this was useful. Thank you.